On the night Aduni sold her shadow for a bag of gold, she thought she had made the greatest trade of her life. By dawn, she would discover that some bargains cost more than money can ever repay, but she had no idea what awaited her by sunset.
In the ancient city of Ife, where the morning sun painted the red earth golden and the aroma of palm oil and bitter cola filled the air, lived Aduni, a cloth merchant whose ambition burned brighter than the forge fires of the blacksmith's quarter. Aduni was known throughout the marketplace for two things: her exquisite Adire textiles that could make even the poorest woman feel like a queen, and her insatiable hunger for wealth. While other traders closed their stores to share meals with family, Aduni walked by moonlight, her fingers dancing across indigo-stained fabric, always dreaming of the day she would own not just a store, but an entire section of the great marketplace. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lówó, àgbọ́dọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ gàgàgà, she would mutter to herself. Whoever wants to be rich must work extremely hard. But despite her endless toil, prosperity seemed to dance just beyond her reach, like shadows at sunset. Her grandmother, Mama Kemi, had warned her many times, "Aduni, my child, the earth gives to those who plant with patience, not those who dig with greed." But Aduni dismissed these old sayings as the ramblings of a woman who had never dreamed beyond her compound walls. On the 7th day of the dry season, as the harmattan winds carried whispers of change, a stranger appeared at her store just as she was preparing to close. The figure moved like smoke, wrapped in dark cloth that seemed to absorb the evening light. Even in the fading daylight, Aduni noticed something unsettling. The stranger cast no shadow. "Aduni, daughter of Kemi," the stranger spoke in a voice like rustling leaves, "I have watched your struggles. I offer you wealth beyond your wildest dreams." The stranger placed an ornate wooden box on her counter. When opened, it revealed more gold than Aduni had ever seen, enough to buy 10 stores, a grand house, servants, everything she had ever wanted. "The price is simple," the stranger continued. "Give me your shadow and all this gold is yours. What use is a shadow anyway? Can it buy food? Can it build a house? It is merely the absence of light." Aduni's heart thundered like festival drums. Her practical mind reasoned, what harm could there be in losing something so worthless? Aduni agreed without hesitation. The moment the stranger's fingers touched her shoulder, she felt something vital drain from her being, like water leaving a broken pot. But when she looked at the gold, all doubt vanished. Within days, she had purchased the largest stall in the market and filled it with the finest fabrics from distant lands. Customers flocked to her like bees to honey. Yet, something was terribly wrong. "Sister Aduni," called out Fumi, a fellow trader, "why won't you come stand with us in the sun anymore? Why do you always remain in the shadows?" Aduni forced a laugh, but the truth gnawed at her. She had discovered that without her shadow, she could not bear direct sunlight. It burned her skin like acid, forcing her to conduct all business from the dark corners of the marketplace. Weeks passed, and Aduni's wealth multiplied, but so did her problems. She noticed that people began to avoid her. Children ran away when she approached. Even the dogs in the marketplace would howl and flee when she walked by. Her grandmother visited her store one afternoon, her aged eyes filled with concern. "My child, what have you done? You move like one of the walking dead. There is no warmth in your presence anymore." Aduni protested. "Mama Kemi, I am richer than ever before. Look at my gold, my fabrics, my success." But the old woman shook her head sadly. "Oh, mommy, a shadow is not just absence of light. It is proof of your substance, your connection to this world. Without it, you are becoming like smoke, existing but not truly alive." As months passed, Aduni discovered she could no longer participate in any community rituals. When she tried to make offerings at the shrine of Oshun for more prosperity, the goddess's priest recoiled in horror. "You carry no shadow, woman. The spirit cannot see you. You have cut yourself off from the realm of the ancestors. What have you done?" That night, Aduni realized that she could no longer dream. Without her shadow, the bridge between the conscious and unconscious worlds, she was trapped in a waking nightmare, cut off from guidance, wisdom, and the very essence of what made her human. Her wealth continued to grow, but it felt meaningless. She was becoming rich in gold, but bankrupt in spirit. Desperate, Aduni sought out Baba Ifa, the oldest diviner in the land. After casting his cowrie shells and consulting ancient wisdom, his face grew grave. "Daughter, you have made a bargain with Eshu or Dara, the trickster spirit who tests human greed. Your shadow was not just darkness, it was your connection to your Ori, your spiritual destiny. Without it, you will continue to prosper materially, but you will fade from existence itself." "What do you mean?" Aduni whispered. "In 7 days, when the new moon rises, you will become like the stranger who bought your shadow, a phantom who can touch gold but never again touch another human heart. You will have wealth, but you will cease to truly exist." The diviner leaned forward, his eyes filled with ancient knowing. "There is only one way to break this curse, but the price is everything you have gained." The revelation hit Aduni like a thunderbolt from Shango. She rushed home to her new mansion, filled with servants and luxury, but for the first time, she truly saw her life. The servants feared her, performing their duties with trembling hands. She could touch gold, silk, and precious stones, but when she tried to embrace her grandmother, her arms passed through her old woman like mist. "Mama Kemi," she cried, but her grandmother could barely see her, speaking to her as if she were a fading memory. That night, Aduni stood before her mirror and watched in horror as her reflection grew fainter. Her skin was becoming translucent. She was disappearing, trading her very existence for material wealth. She tried to give away her gold to regain her humanity, but nothing worked. The curse was bound to her choice, not her possessions. For 6 days, she watched herself fade, while her wealth remained intact. She was learning the cruelest lesson of all, that some bargains cannot be undone with money, only with sacrifice. On the 7th night, as the new moon rose like a dark eye in the sky, the stranger appeared at the crossroads outside the town. "You have learned, haven't you, daughter of greed?" The figure laughed, his voice like breaking glass. "Your shadow grows strong while you grow weak. Soon I will have both, your shadow and your place in this world." But Aduni had spent the last 7 days remembering everything her grandmother had taught her. She pulled out a small cowrie shell, not worth even a kobo, but given to her by her grandmother as a child. "Eshu or Dara," she said, using the spirit's true name, "I challenge your bargain. You said my shadow was worthless, but you were wrong. It was worth more than all the gold in the world, and I know why you wanted it." The spirit's eyes flashed dangerously. "Speak quickly, fading one." Aduni smiled, and for the first time in months, her smile held genuine warmth. "A shadow proves that light exists. Without shadows, people stop believing in illumination. You collect shadows not for their darkness, but to steal the world's faith in light itself. But I offer you something more valuable than my shadow." "What could be more valuable than your connection to existence itself?" Aduni smiled. "A story that teaches wisdom creates infinite shadows of understanding, far more valuable than one person's darkness." "Very well, daughter of greed. Take back your shadow, but remember, this gift comes with responsibility. You must tell this story to anyone who will listen." The moment her shadow returned, Aduni felt the world rush back into focus. Colors became vivid again. The sun felt warm instead of burning as she could once more embrace her grandmother. She returned to her simple stall in the marketplace, selling her honest textiles. The god had vanished with the curse, but she discovered something miraculous. She was truly happy for the first time in her adult life. Mama Kemi visited her that evening, her eyes twinkling with pride. "Now you understand, my child. Be a bagbe inuwa soke. Ayadunwa. When we lift up our inner selves, life becomes sweet." Aduni nodded, watching her shadow dance in the lamplight, a simple miracle she would never take for granted again. Years passed, and Aduni became known not as the richest merchant, but as the wisest storyteller in the marketplace. Every evening, she would share her tale with young traders, teaching them that the most expensive price you can pay is the one that costs you yourself. Like Aduni learned, some lessons can only be purchased
with experience. But wisdom shared freely enriches everyone who hears it. If this tale of the merchant's shadow touched your heart, subscribe for more authentic African folk tales that illuminate the timeless wisdom of our ancestors.